Hello, friends and enemies, heroes and villains, welcome to Epic Realms Off the Pod. It's not a podcast, it's sort of a podcast, sort of, kind of, maybe not. Scar. Welcome in, everybody. You guys all know me. I am Nick. I'm the host of Epic Realms. But next to me today is the amazingly wonderful, talented, overly talented, probably has too much talent, amazing streamer Scarblade, or xXScarbladeXx. Welcome on in. How are you?
Me?
Yeah, you. How are you?
I thought you were talking to the chat still. I am well. Thank you for asking. I'm not in a well. I'm physically feeling well.
Okay.
I'm good.
You're not in a well though. I was.
No, I'm not in a well.
Turn down that echo. Where's the sorry. I was going to say corgi, but what kind of dog is Lassie? Lassie's a kind of dog is Lassie? I don't remember.
Saint Balassi. I don't.
Lassie. I don't know. Somebody in chat will cover us.
A golden retriever.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's a God. What kind of dog is Lassie? Chat, help me out here.
Someone Google it.
Ooh, Maractus has wee woo hat. What? Oh.
I have no idea.
Collie, a collie. That's right. A collie, not a border collie,
yeah.
but a collie, a rough collie, and a big collie. That's
Correct.
right. It doesn't matter. The joke's long past now about the well and the dog, but still. How have you been, Scarblade? How have your streams been? How has your life been?
Good. I took a bit of a break because summer's really hot.
Yeah.
And I don't like the heat. And we didn't turn our air conditioning on until like 2 days ago. And it's just way too hot in this room to stream. Like I'll just sit there and sweat and be very grumpy. So I took some time off literally because of that. So no other reason. It just sucked to sit in this chair. So
it's like your back sticks, you get off, it's like your back turns into Velcro.
Yeah. And then I feel like I'm just like sweating the whole time. So then I'm like, and when I sweat, like I sweat. Like I sweat like a dude. And like I will be like touching myself like to get all the sweat off, and I don't care who's watching, and so that's very I just can't be like sweaty on
There's got to be somebody that's willing to pay for that, to see you like just dabbing this.
I mean,
there's got to be someone.
I've had people comment on my glistening, which I didn't really know exactly what that meant. I guess it's like girls don't sweat, they glisten, which I mean, I don't glisten. Like I like melt into like, it looks like I just crawled out of the ocean. It's pretty gross. So yeah,
But are you able to cool down now? Were you able to get air conditioning running?
Yeah, I've got my air conditioning on. So I feel pretty good.
Lyric put in there, everybody sweats sometime. That's like an REM spin-off.
Everybody sweats
sometimes. Yeah. Oh, Octavius has been, by the way, Octavius, guys, go check out Octavius. Octavius has been hyping not just this show up, but he hypes you up all the time. Even though you're not, like, if you're busy or you're not there, Octavius is like, you guys got to go and hang out in Scarblades, and he'd like shout out Scarblade. And yeah, Octavius is always also talking about.
This is for you, Octavius, because I love you so much. I appreciate you. That's only for Octavius.
Only for Octavius, not for anyone else.
Only Octavius.
He even has like a Octavius version of that once in a while that he does.
I know, I saw.
Ding.
He gets special love.
He does.
He makes me smile.
Octavius is awesome. He's number one in all of our hearts. Sometimes.
I agree. He also got me after he was his birthday.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never seen Skinwalker Ranch, and I was like, what is this? And then when I read and learned it was about aliens, I had to watch it. So I watched like the whole first season in 2 days. And now I'm really excited because I think Netflix says the second season's coming out July 5th. So I'm waiting to see that.
Yeah, it's a great show. I'm over halfway through the last season right now. I've also
How
been
many
busy, so
seasons
I think there's
are there?
four or five.
Okay. Okay, because I can only watch on Netflix, and so it's just the first season, and the second season's coming soon, and so I'm like really anxious to watch more of it.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe if I can figure it out, maybe myself and Octavius can hop into a Discord and share the show and watch it with everybody, and you can come and join us, and we can all
That
just
would
sit
be
down and watch
fun.
20 hours of Skinwalker Ranch straight.
Oh my God,
Okay,
I
maybe
think we
not
should
20 hours
absolutely do
straight,
that.
but we could watch a bunch of shows, and
And we should all wear footy pajamas.
there we go. There we go. We just get
I
everybody
love
could
it.
come join. Everybody in the chat can come join and hang out.
It sounds like a perfect idea.
Yeah, we'll call it we'll call it a community not date night with 30 people, and we'll all just get together and be like, we're all here to hang out and watch, or we can all just say we're all dating Octavius is what we can say. We're all on multiple. Octavius says his PJs are a little bit different. I don't know if you have chat up or not, Scarblade, but Octavius
I
says
do, yes.
his PJs are a little bit different.
Mine are too. I usually sleep in like men's boxers and then like a cami shirt. I don't, I mean, I have pajamas, but by the time I go to bed, they come off and I'm just in underwear because I can't. I'm a hot sleeper. Like I said, like I don't like sweating. So
I'm
the bare minimum
mine
will
changes
do.
depending on how I'm feeling. So like there are days where I'm like I have basically like flannel pajama bottoms, and usually like I pick a
Mhm.
t-shirt. But then some days it's like I need to have socks on. Or some
Mm,
days I can't have socks on. Or sometimes I
yep.
can't have my pajama bottoms on because like if they ride up my knee, or it's just some days are just a little bit different than others. But who sleeps with socks? I know, it's weird. But sometimes
I,
I'm like I just need them on, and sometimes I can't have anything touching my feet.
yeah.
So
Well, it's funny because I go to bed with socks on, and then about as I'm starting to fall asleep, I kick them off. So every time I go to change my sheets, there's like 30 pairs of socks at the bottom of my bed because I just everyone's like, my sister's like, why do you go to bed with socks on if you're just gonna kick them off? I was like, well, I don't want to go to bed with cold feet, but I don't want to sleep with hot feet. So I like let my feet warm up, and I like go like this with my feet and get a little friction, and then whenever they're at the perfect temperature, I just kick my socks off and I like go to sleep.
right, yeah, nope, I hear you. I hear you. I won't tell you any of the other weird things I do when it has to come to sleep. It's because some of them are like socks are the least weird thing. How about tucking my pants into the socks so that they're like footy pajamas? We're
That
just
is weird.
thanks,
I
thanks, thanks.
I sleep crisscross applesauce. So like when you're sitting crisscross applesauce, and then I just like lay back.
Okay,
So like my legs are crossed. I have to sleep in some kind of pretzel form, or else I feel strange. I don't know. Like I don't just like lay on my back or my side. Like I'm twisted in some kind of contorty way.
wow,
I don't know if that's a word. Contorty.
contorti. It is now the new
It is.
Scarblade word. Add it to the Scarblade dictionary. There should you should do that. You should have a thing of paper, and then when you make words, like what is it, and then you just make it up.
Just add it to my scar dictionary. I
Yeah.
like that idea.
You
That's
have
I
a do
think
you
I
have a
need
fan?
I do.
I was like, you're like,
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
thank
I
you.
got nervous. So I was like, I need air.
There. I thought you were like Marilyn Monroeing me, and it's like in the chat, like the hair is just
That's right.
everywhere.
Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. I don't know why that's the song
I
that
don't
I
know, but
chose
that's a great song.
for my
Scorpions, full
appealing,
Scorpions.
like,
Do,
hello.
do, 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 do. Lyric says, I just freeze the hubby's legs until my feet are warmed up. I like that version of it because there's the original version of it, but then there's that version of it, which
Yeah.
I've heard.
Let's get ready to...
Hello, Mucky
She's-
McFly. Hello, welcome
Hi,
in.
Bucky. How are you, darling?
He says
I
Mucky's
only
future wife is on. I'm always on Off the Pod, Mucky. What are you? This isn't new. I'm always here. Oh, you're not talking about me? Oh, I thought he was talking about me. Now I feel a little sad.
I've skipped out on a lot of dates with Mucky.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
not my fault. I'm just really bad with calendars and flying to foreign countries.
Right,
So
right. Totally understandable. I don't know what I was saying. There's something about something before Mucky came in and was like
the
hello.
song.
Oh yeah,
Diane,
I heard it. I had it stuck in my head, and then like I heard that, and then I was watching. I was thinking like, boy, wouldn't it be really funny if I took something and it was like, you know, finger dancing? Because I always talk about finger dancing.
Aw,
It's like
yeah.
finger dancing, and there's always songs. There's like we'll be driving and a song will
Yeah.
come on. I'm like, that's a finger dancing song, and I finger dance. And
That's
of course,
fun.
my wife looks at me like, "Oh my god, face palms," and you know, because I'm a weirdo.
That's okay.
And
I have like a big box of minis, and I will get minis out and like adult Barbies and just like play with them. Like literally, I have them within arm's reach. I have like a bone dragon. I have
Nice.
like a green dragon, and I'll like make them talk, and they'll get in arguments, and like they'll decide things for me. I mean, like if I can't decide what to make for dinner, they'll have a little argument, and then whichever one wins is what I make. It's usually
we're
the
gonna have
least.
macaroni. No hot dogs. Why not both? That's a great idea.
Exactly, and they'll just like duke it out. And
Let's get
yeah,
ready to
Anyone would think Mucky is disruptive or something. Wonder if Scar has watched Mucky's episode because you know it has Mucky in it. You know, Mucky was on an episode of Off the Pod. Now
I
available on
did
YouTube.
see. And I think you have a very nice face, Mucky.
I agree.
Just
wanna,
so
I
you
just
know.
want to brush that beard of his with my
I
bare
know
hands.
it looks snuggly. Like I don't know.
Don't give
if
him
this
the wrong
means-
ideas. Don't give him the wrong ideas. He's gonna get the wrong ideas. Don't do that. Don't do
Lo siento.
that. But yeah, the finger dance, and I was like, that's great, whatever idea. And then I was like, oh, didn't me and Octavius just do that on something? When was that? So I had to go and get a clip, and I'm like, well, I'll add the song or whatever. And that's one of the
I love
songs I always get dinged for on YouTube. They're like, you know, we're gonna mute this part of that thing. So that is much more fun way of talking to yourself. All I do is yell at myself for ADHD, self-forgetting shit, and getting distracted all the time. Says Pixel Mix.
I get
I
that.
think we've all
I-
been there.
Yeah, I'm like a living cartoon character in my house. Like my kids will tell me to calm down. They'll be like, "Mommy, can you stop?" Like I'll get up to go do the laundry, and I'm like, "I'm going to do the laundry. Yeah, I'm going to do the laundry. Oh yeah, gonna put the clothes in the washer." Like and that and like
Let's
constantly.
get
I can't shut
ready
up. And so yeah, I'm talking to myself, rapping to myself, singing to myself, talking to myself, dancing by myself all the time. It
Isn't that a
doesn't
Billy
stop.
Joel? Isn't that a not a Billy Joel, Billy Idol song? Dancing by
Maybe.
yourself. Now I'm dancing by myself. Oh, 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 oh.
Sounds like it could be a song. I'm not hip with the jive, so I don't know a lot of cool songs anymore.
You just have to make them all up yourself.
That's true. That's typically what I do. I get like a beat in my head and then I run with it.
Right. Mucky wants to know if he can get an I appreciate you before bedtime. That is up to you, Scarblade.
Yeah.
No pressure.
Sure.
No pressure.
He always throws me pennies, so why not?
He does.
This is for you, Mucky. I appreciate you.
There you go, Mucky. Now go to bed. But leave a lurk up.
I hope you have pleasant dreams about sugar plums and fairies. But not like the evil fairies.
Yeah, not the
Like-
ones that are gonna like take your I don't
Like not the ones that kidnap children. Like
right.
although you're not a child, so you shouldn't really have to worry about that. But
Well, I mean, physically, mentally, I mean, it's Mucky
Yeah,
we're talking about
and-
here. So I mean,
exactly. But if they take you to the Fey realm, don't eat anything and don't drink anything, no
Yeah.
matter how much you're tempted.
don't even say the word yes.
Mm-mm. Nay, nay.
Like the toothy fairy, Mucky McFly, like the toothy fairy. So guys, as you are, I'll watch the VOD, but need to see this first. Octavius hates this one for some reason. I don't know why.
He's adorable.
I know.
I'll watch the VOD, but need to see this first. Wagwanti epic and Scar, you beautiful people, you.
Cheers, Mucky. Have a good evening. Take care.
Cheers.
Can I ask what the Scarblade is drinking?
Chewbacca tea.
Chewbacca tea.
Well, it's actually kombucha.
Kombucha?
Yeah,
Kombucha.
thank you. But I
You
can't
got
say that, so I call it Chewbacca tea.
That's okay.
And it makes me feel,
I like Chewbacca tea.
yeah.
Sponsorship right there. Chewbacca tea sponsoring Scarblade.
Chewbacca tea. I'm a huge fan.
There we go. So those who are here, what you may or may not know is that every 20 minutes we change subject. We haven't started the first subject yet, even though it's been almost a half hour.
Sorry.
It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. You guys can, of course, talk along with us in chat. We will reference and talk back with you and with you about stuff. Our first topic is something very near and dear to Scarblade's heart recently, is the Minecraft.
Oh, yes.
Tell us how you found out about the Minecraft, because I kind of know the story, but you heard about it before me, right?
Yes,
before
I
us.
did. I am a huge fan of Stardew Valley.
Okay.
So much so that I had my sister Sage, she's an artist, like do this mural of a Stardew Valley scene in my guest room. So when you walk into my guest room, like it looks like you're in the game. Like it's just, I've nerded over it. And so many people kept saying like, you should play Minecraft. You would love Minecraft. You should play Minecraft. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to play Minecraft, because the only thing I knew about Minecraft was in my previous life, I was a librarian. I worked at a children's library, and I would just have kids all the time coming in for these Minecraft books. And so I was like, no, it's a kid's game. Like all they do is like, no, it's a kid's game. And then I mentioned it to you, and I can't remember exactly why we got on that topic. I think it was being discussed in your chat, and I mentioned it. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. And you were
maybe
like,
I was streaming it and you came in, or you were playing something that got brought up in your chat.
Yeah, you're like, I play Minecraft. Like I've got my own thing. And I was like, really? And you were like, yeah, really. And I was like, cool. And so, well, I mean, it didn't go exactly like that, but anyway. And so then we got on in Minecraft, and you taught me how to walk, and that was hard because I kept being in the wrong view, and that was confusing. And
yeah,
plus I was
you
playing
were
on
in like
Xbox.
the third person or whatever where you're.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I was like trying to like hit something, but I was like hitting it over here, and I'm like, I can't get it. Like not figuring out how to do anything, and bad guys would show up. Hi, home buddy. I would literally welcome home buddy. I loves you. I would literally, like the bad guys would show up. You were like showing me the mine, and these bad guys, like the blobs would show up, the slimes, and I was like just trying to run around, and I'm like running and like doing this and like panicking, and you're like, oh, it's okay, just don't knock off the torches. And I'd already like knocked 3 of them off.
That's right, I forgot about that.
I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Hi, Emmy. And then I became very quickly obsessed. Very quickly. I did not stop playing for a good 3 weeks straight. I literally, my son would be like, can we watch Dino Ranch? And I'm like, absolutely. Go watch your show for 4 hours straight so I can play Minecraft like a good mother. And that was essentially, I just did nothing but Minecraft. And then I was like, I should stream it. And then I had this mental argument with myself and 2 of my stuffed animals about whether or not I should stream it. And it was like one of us thought that I should, one of us thought that I shouldn't, and one of us was like, yeah, but maybe don't do like do your own world, because like what if you mess something up, because the chances of you messing something up is really big. And I was like, really? But I really think so anyway, so we were all arguing about it, and I couldn't make a decision because I'm a millennial. And so I went and I talked to my good friend Ivy, and he was like, right, I'll get it for you. And he talked me into the most sensical option. And I did it, but I did my own world.
Yeah.
And I was shocked at how quickly people were like, can I play with you? Can I play with you? Can I play with you? And I started panicking because I didn't know people. And I was like, nah. Like,
And you're
I
and you're
didn't
kind
know
of a
how to.
people pleaser, so you're like, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yes. I'm such a people pleaser. So then we came up with this plan of like, okay, if you don't know this person and they're brand new, like let them get acquainted with the community first and this and that. And I was like, okay, that's like what Epic did.
Yeah.
And you were like, you can stream on mine. And I was like, what if people start asking me? And then I'm just like, and I was telling people like, well, if you want to, you can go follow Epic and you can, eventually maybe play on his if you become active in the thing. They're like, I just want to play with somebody right now. And it was just me panicking basically all the time.
Well, I think you
then
and I talked about that too, and I was just
we
like,
did.
you can
Yeah.
use. I believe I told you, you can use my server as an excuse to not have to play with people. You can be like, I can't.
Yes.
It's not my server. It's not up to me. Sorry, but you can hang out with
Exactly.
me and chat, and then no stress on
Exactly.
you, and then I can be the and I wouldn't even
then
be the
what
bad guy because that's just sensical.
Exactly. And that was my plan. And I was going to do it, but the one day Ivy wanted to play with me because he was going to help me build a barn, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
so
I
we
was
were
in there for
playing.
that.
Yeah, you were. And so I was going to play my world. And I literally had 4 people come in and just offer to pay for a realm just because they wanted to play with me. And I was like, I don't know if this is creepy or not. Like, I don't know what's happening. And so hi Lithadora.
Yes, we're talking about Minecraft, and welcome on in.
We are. And so I didn't know, like, what was I talking about? I saw Lithadora and I got like really excited and I forgot my words.
You were talking about how they were like, we'll help pay for the server,
Yeah.
and
I
you
had
were like, is
people
that
like
weird?
offering
That's
to
weird.
pay. Yeah. And so I was like politely like saying no, and then they'd be like, well, you should be playing Java, why are you playing Bedrock? And then they're like sending me things in Discord and trying to friend me on Discord and Instagram and send me things on like Java and how to pay for things. And I panicked and I was like, I don't know what to do, and Ivy was like, he's my number 1 mod, and so he's like, I'll take care of it. And he just created a realm under his name. And so he kind of like mods that as well, so that I don't have to say anything. And then I just tell people like, yeah, once you are in our community enough and we trust you, we'll add you. And then it'll be, it's hard. I'm not good at being in charge.
Yeah.
I'm not good at being in charge. I'm not a leader. I'm a follower.
But you're leading us. You're leading us into the world of Minecraft.
I try. I'm more like the front infantry. So I'm like the one that the leaders send out first, but I'm not like a leader per se. I'm like
we all want to follow you. Follow you into the Minecraft depths of hell, and
I've been to hell. That was terrifying. I went a couple times and it was absolutely terrifying. Like there was like ghosts spitting fire at me, and there were pigs, and apparently I forgot my golden shoes, and so then the pigs started to attack me, and I went back through the portal and my dog was there, and then these pigs followed me through the portal, and then I was panicking, and then I fell off a cliff, and then when I respawned, the pig was like wearing my armor and like running around town, and it was terrifying. I mean, the amount of time that I have played this game, you think I would be a little bit better than what I am.
Yeah, but don't put yourself down, because I mean, there's things that took me years to figure out, and you're like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. Look what I built, and I'm like, in 2 weeks, you already built that, and you've only been playing for 2 weeks. What the hell?
I'm sorry.
So don't sell yourself short.
Well, I just look at the things that people make, and then I'm like, I like that, but I don't like that part. So then I just sort of like Legos.
Right, it is. That's what I keep saying. It's like it's Legos in a video game.
Yeah,
I used to say for adults, but it's not just for adults. Kids can play it too, obviously.
That's true.
Obviously, based on your time in a library.
Exactly. I know there were like these like early reader books.
Mhm.
So they're like leveled different like reading levels. So there's like kindergarten, first grade, second grade. And they went all the way up to like fourth grade, like these reading level books that were Minecraft. And it was like the one, it was like a first grade book, and it was like, I see a creeper. I see two creepers. There are two creepers. And I'm just like, what is this? And now that I'm playing it, like
You're
I
like, I
started
don't want to
getting
see
these books,
creepers.
right? I started getting those books for my kids to read, and they're like all excited because they're like playing Minecraft, and now they're like acting it out in the wild. My children are, and
Yeah.
that's always fun because my son, he's 3, likes to pretend to be a creeper. But to people who have never played Minecraft, and when they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm being a creeper." It just sounds like for example, the one day my daughter was outside playing like sidewalk chalk with a neighbor girl, and they had like this bucket of water, and my son goes out and he like dumps it and then puts it on his head, and he's just walking around going and then like going like this, like he's getting big. And I'm like, okay, I know what he's doing. So I go out there and I'm like, buddy, come on. And he's like, but I need to be a creeper. I have to get really close to them and explode.
Wow.
Like the neighbor girl was just like, he's a snake. And I'm like, yeah, I wish he was a snake. That's worse than that.
Yeah, at least if
So
he's a snake, he's not going to blow up.
exactly. But yeah, he's just like a child walking around with a bucket on his head going.
So now, now that you've been playing, as long as you've been playing, what is the scariest moment so far for you? What's been like
Uh,
the worst? Oh my god, get the heck out of
when
here! I'm so
Emmy
scared.
took me to meet the warden, and then she died in front of me and I ran away. Like she summoned it. She was like, it's okay. I'm going to fill up this hole so it can't get to us. She started like filling up these blocks. And then all of a sudden I literally just see her disappear. And it said something like, Emmy was eviscerated, or just
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
wasn't just killed. It was like an intense word, and I'm hearing it, and my controller's shaking, and my screen's going like this, and I'm like trying to run, and I forgot how to use my pickaxe, and I'm like trying to use a shovel on like to get out of this hole, and it was I was just like I got heartburn. It's
Thank you for the follow, Paradox Destro. Paradox Destro,
oh,
welcome on in.
Paradox. Hello, my sweet. He's one of my mods, and he runs my Discord, and he's one of my sweets. Hi, Paradox. Thank you.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in.
And I had such bad heartburn that I had to go drink some Pepto Bismol before we continued playing because it scared me so bad.
And I was in. I don't know if I don't think I was playing Minecraft with you guys. I was just in the voice chat because I think I was working
Yeah.
on a project. So I was hearing the
Yep.
conversation you two were having, and I was like stressing out. I was like, "Do I need to log on and go help them? I don't even know where they're at. I can't help."
But she was like, you have to like, she was like, okay, Scott, don't move. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, okay, real slowly. She's like, okay, stop moving. I'm like, okay. And I was like whispering because I was
Yeah,
like,
you were whispering in the chat, even though the warden can't hear you.
I know. I literally was. I was so scared of this warden. Like I'm sweating now just thinking about it. Like I need my fan again.
It was
It's
pretty.
it
And the
was
fact that she's like, "Okay, wait, I'm gonna go ahead. Wait, I'm gonna go ahead. Wait, oh, and now I'm dead. Now I'm dead." Roddy Mama gifted a tier 1 sub to Paradox Destro. Thank you so much, Roddy Mama.
aw, shucks a bucksa.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Thank you, thank you. You're welcome.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
We were talking about the warden.
Oh, yeah. I still haven't seen the warden. You've done things that I have yet to do. You've seen the warden. You've been in the deep dark. What was the other one? There was something else you found that I didn't find, that I hadn't found yet. Early
I
on.
found one of those wilderness castle things.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Nope.
the underground crystals.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
did
still
find
haven't, like I
them.
don't have any, and you're like, "Oh, well, here, have a couple." I was like, I want some amethysts. That's what it was.
Yeah, I found quite a few in my like under my base in the little mountain thing. Well, and Emmy and I, so I was showing her around like what I had done with the mine, and I was like, there's this pool of lava, and it was very small. It was like maybe 8 by 8, just this little pool of lava. And I was like, okay, well, she was like, well, I saw this thing on the internet
There's
where
Emmy
you
Kiko
can
for
like,
those people who are wondering who Emmy is.
yes, Emmy, she is, I heart her so much. So she was like, if you put glass blocks down, you can see under the lava and then you can tell where the diamonds are. And I was like, that's amazing. Let's do it. So we're in this like 8 by 8 little section, but we keep going down and the lava keeps going and keeps going and it starts coming out the sides. So we've got like buckets of water and we're like taking turns dying. And we realized it was not 8 by 8. It was like 30 by 20, like this giant cave just full of lava. And so we dug up all of that. So we had like 2 or 3 stacks of obsidian.
Wow.
So if you need obsidian, I have a bunch.
I love obsidian. I do.
It's so
There's
pretty.
so many things that I like to do with it.
I know. I want to build like a cat statue with obsidian. And I'm gonna put it next to my duckin statue.
Your duck. I love your duck
anyway.
statue, by the way.
Thank you. What was that?
It wasn't on my end.
Oh, I heard a bring.
Yeah, I heard it too.
Really? I think that's my thing.
It's like your phone go
Oh
off.
yeah, it is.
Your phone or something.
It is. I don't even know anything about anything anymore.
But you
that
know
makes
about
any
Minecraft.
sense.
You know about Minecraft.
I love Minecraft. But yeah, and after we did all of that, we found no diamonds except she went a little further past and she found like 3. And then when we came back to the area to just like dig around some more, it had turned into its own little like ecosystem and there were like glow squid and like all sorts of stuff that it just spawned in this like Emmy and Scarblade made like environment.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. So
Do you have a name
now
for
I
it?
have
Is it
glow
like
squid pets.
the Emmy Scar Grotto or the
Oh,
underground sizzler? If you have like the lava on the
yes.
edge and then
love
like
it.
because it's lava and water.
It'd be like Emmy Blade Lagoon.
There you go.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And but usually we have on my servers Minecraft night. Hello, Ivy. Welcome in, Ivy. We were just talking about you.
I was talking about you, love. How
Yeah,
are
He
you?
was chatting all about you.
Ivy is my best friend and my #1 mod.
Welcome in,
For those of
Ivy.
you who
Ivy is
don't know.
awesome. Whenever I
Ivy
pop
is
in, I
amazing.
make sure to say hello to Ivy in your stream because I
Yes.
know Ivy is so important to your stream.
He is.
Past, present,
yes,
and future.
indeed. He is my person.
We but yeah, we do Minecraft on Minecraft Community Night in the Discord server. It's usually the second Friday of the month. Yeah. Yeah, second
Yes.
Friday of the month. So I think this month it's going to be the 14th. I'm not sure if I will be there for it, but yeah. So the 14th is going to be there.
I have to. I keep missing it because I do D&D. I would say every other Friday, but it's really just like we'll plan it and then we'll be like, can we get together next Friday or the Friday after next? And I'm like, no, because I have this, but we can do next Friday. And I'm like, okay, let's do next Friday then. So then it'll be 2 weeks in a row, and then it shifts everything. And every time we've had a community night, I'm like, dang it. And I can't cancel it because we have like, it's me and then 6 other people, and I'm the DM. So if
Yeah.
I'm not there, then like nobody can play. And so then I feel like such a bing bong, like jerky jockey if I go and say, sorry guys, I gotta go play Minecraft.
Right. But you just have to do it
Can't
ahead of
play.
time. Be like, I can't schedule it for that, but
I know. That's really funny. I've had somebody say that to me once.
Oh, really?
Only they didn't say poop. They said burp.
Oh.
I
Did
had somebody say that.
they say it to you in your chat, or did they say it to you like
It was in real rife. I
Real Rife?
worked at when I was in college, I worked at Bed Bath and Beyond as a
Okay.
bridal consultant.
Okay. Okay.
And there was this guy that I worked with that worked in the back and stuff. And he was always like, I have a fascination with boxes just for no reason
Are you a
other
cat?
than
Are you secretly three cats in a human suit?
I think I
You're
might
three
be.
cats in a Scarblade suit?
Like, it's super weird. Whenever we get like an Amazon package, I'm like, oh, it's a nice box. I'm gonna keep it. But like, I don't do anything with them. Like, I you can't see because I have a green screen, but I've got like 6 boxes, empty boxes, just sitting back here that I don't do anything with. I'll just be like, this is a really nice box.
Right.
And then like eventually Blood Drunk just starts like breaking them up and like sticking them in the basement because I refuse to let him get rid of them. And it's like, we're not moving. There's no reason for me to have these boxes. But so this guy that I worked with, he was always like coming up. He's like, hey, I got this nice box if you want to come look at it. Like, I know that sounds like a really stupid, but I was always like, yes, I do. And I would walk to the back. I'd be like, I don't have any clients right now. And I'd like walk to the back and I'd be like, let me see that box. I'm like, ooh, wow, look at that. What came in that pans? Nice. Like, literally just
I'm gonna start sending you DMs in Discord of boxes. Be like, here's the box. Look at the box I got today.
I love, like, literally, I'm just like, oh, it's like so. Oh, is that time?
And that's
That
the
was
little
fun.
that's the little ditty. That's the little ditty we have. Gora wants to know if the person that gave you that pickup line got a date.
No, he didn't.
No.
He was old enough to be my dad. So, no, he did not.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yes. Also, I was spoken for at the time.
And
So.
still are, everyone.
And still are, indeed. Yes.
Indeed. I gotta go and fix the Nightbot. Those I forgot to get rid of the Nightbot. I have an automatic pop-up because our friends over at Fight in the Box Games were doing their crowdfunding for their new board game. And so I had an automatic link for people. They succeeded, by the way. They succeeded in their crowdfunding for Conquest Princess. Fashion is power. That's the tagline: is fashion is power. You're intergalactic people and you save the world by having awesome fashion, fighting
I
aliens.
played a mobile game like that. It was like Love Nikki or something like that. I called it Nikki Dress Up. I don't know. You had like this little anime girl and you had to like have these fashion shows to like be cuter than the other people. And I was terrible at it.
Well, this
was
one
always
you're
like, "This
fighting
is nice."
aliens that are trying to invade the planet and destroy your ship, and you have to save your little pets.
Oh, if it's for pets, I would probably do a little bit better. But my sense of fashion is very subpar. It doesn't change. Like I wear the same thing I wore when I was in high school. I don't have time to get fancy.
To get fancy, I don't know. You seem like you're always dressed up every time you're streaming. I'm like, all dressed up.
I mean, this is just like a tank top with a tank top under it. Like it's a shirt. Like occasionally, like I'll go, like if Blood Drunk and I go on a date, like I might wear a dress or something because I like in my mind I'm like, how can I dress up? Okay, well I need a dress. And that's like all I know is that when I dress up I need a dress, which you don't really need a dress, but my brain tells me like, you're going in public, you should wear a dress, because if you just wear yoga pants, it's just going to look like a normal day and you don't look special. So I have dresses for that.
Okay.
And like I'm going to England in September. And so I went shopping this past week and I just bought a bunch of dresses. And my sister Sage was like, you're just going to wear dresses the entire time you're in England? I'm like, you're in England? And I was like, well, yeah, because it's special. Like I can't wear pants because I'm not going to look like I'm on vacation. And she's just like telling me how flawed my logic is. So now we're going to be there for 9 days. I have 10 dresses, 6 pairs of pants, and 12 shirts picked out for a 9-day trip because I'm crazy. And I might as well put them in one of my boxes in the basement and like ship them to IB and just be like, this is for when I get there. I'm going to give you some money to buy me a dresser because...
Are you going to get to visit IB while you're over there?
What?
Are you going to get to visit IB while you're over there?
Yeah, we're
Awesome.
we're going to be staying with him. So I'm really excited.
That's
I
great.
know.
It'll be fun.
Yes, I get to go.
And you know you're just
I'm
going to
really
play Minecraft the whole time. You know that, right? You're just
I
going to go
mean,
over there and you're going to
probably.
sit there and play Minecraft.
There is talk about them wanting to go to some alcohol drinking place. What's that called?
A bar?
Yeah, but it's like the British version.
Um,
A pub.
A
Thank you,
pub.
Paradox.
A pub. There you go. Thank you.
A pub. They're gonna go to a pub, and I'm like, I don't want to go to a pub, so I'm just gonna log into his Xbox and play Minecraft while we're drunk. Yeah, same as if they decide to go to watch football. I'll do the same thing. Just be like, call me when it's time to see Mr. Darcy. I'm gonna go.
I mean, football over there is soccer, right? To us?
Yes, yes. But I've learned that I'm not allowed to call it soccer. I have to start calling it football, and
Right,
then
right.
American football.
I just
is
wanted to
American.
make sure that he wasn't like watching American football.
Taking the Xbox with me.
Why are you going to play Xbox at the pub, ID?
Well, then you're gonna have me with a portable TV and your Xbox in a wagon, and you're just gonna have to pull me along in the wagon, and I'm just gonna be playing. And I'll put like my hotspot on my phone so I can be a tech.
You're going to be pointing in the Xbox into the pub TV?
Yep. Just be like, all right, everybody, shh! I'm playing Minecraft.
Right.
Drink your beers and watch me.
They're like, but we were watching football.
I'll be like, but this is more fun. This is interactive.
Right. Everybody, pick a TV. Hook one up.
But he's already express shipped his Minecraft capabilities to my house in advance for your visit. He knows that he would owe me like 10 pounds of creme brulee if that happened. That's like it's my favorite like food is creme brulee, and I'm like a creme brulee.
Maybe they'll pick a pub that has creme brulee.
Then they would bring me some back. Yes, I won't go for the creme brulee, but I will be very kind and sweet and clean the kitchen while the men are gone if they bring me back creme brulee. And if they bring me back enough creme brulee, maybe I'll even vacuum.
Oh. Nothing beats IB and me sitting in a bar talking to B on Discord from a phone at airports.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Oh. Our next subject, Scar,
Yes.
is a broad one, and it's all about theater.
Theater.
Stage and acting and probably singing and all of that kind of stuff. And I've done quite a bit of theater myself and performances. Not a ton after high school. I've done a couple shows, non-college shows. We had local playhouses and stuff. I think I did I can't remember his name. Ophelia's brother in Hamlet. Starts with an L. I'm having a brain fart.
Lucius Malfoy.
Yeah, sure.
I don't remember Hamlet.
Oh, Hamlet. I've done a few different things for Hamlet. But yeah, I did that after, and that was really good because that was like probably the highest level of theater that I was able to do. Laertes, that's it. Thank you, Roddy Bama. So I've got some history in theater, not including my other performing stuff. But you're like professionally trained, aren't you?
Yes, I am actually. I originally went to I went to college twice because I couldn't get enough of that learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I originally went to school for vocal performance and dance. I had a scholarship for dance at the local college where I live. And I hated it because one of the things that they had me do was take music theory and music composition in my very first semester, and I was not prepared for that. Like I knew how to dance,
Yeah,
and I knew how to like present myself, I guess you could say, kind of, even though I'm like really awkward. I could turn it on. But
Your
I
stage presence.
yeah, but I knew nothing. I took a music appreciation that didn't appreciate it. That's what's funny. Yeah. Like they wanted you to learn. They were like, we're by the end of the semester, you're going to have written your own song. And I had my keyboard, and then not even kidding you, my apartment got broken into. And they stole everything. They even stole our pillowcases, which
What?
I realized later was because I think they were using them to fill stuff up with, like little loot bags.
Oh wow.
And there was a Sharpie that was open, and I made up this story in my head that they used the Sharpie to write dollar signs on the pillowcases before they lugged them out. Because that made me feel better about everything. Because I'm
Yeah.
thinking that you got burglarized by like
A cartoon
a
character.
cartoon burglar. Like I'd rather be burgled by a cartoon burglar than burgled by a real burglar. Burglar. Yeah.
At least
So
you're
then I
not.
told my teacher.
I hear Scottish people have a hard time saying burglary. Burglary as well.
Burglary. I just have a hard time saying a lot of things. My brain shuts down sometimes. It's like, no, you're not going to say that. You're done. And then I'm like, I'm not. And then
But
I have to
wanted to say
make
more.
stuff up. Yeah, I never stop talking. But so my apartment got broken into, and I lost my keyboard. Right? Well, I didn't lose it. It ran away. So I told my professor, I was like, I don't have a keyboard anymore. And he was like, that's fine. You can come in here and use the piano. So then I was like, ugh. And I lived off campus. And so I had to walk to the university to play and schedule to like play their piano and then walk back. And I have this problem called laziness. And I wasn't going to do that because I did not have enough time because I was also working.
Yeah.
And so I basically just gave up, and I didn't do very well. So I talked to my advisor at school, and she was like, well, we could switch you to this and to this and to this, but no matter what major I wanted to do involving, music whatsoever, I was going to have to take a composition class. And that terrified me because I cannot write my own music. Like
Right.
I can come up with the lyrics. They're not very good, but they're pretty comical sometimes, but I can't like write a song. So, so then I switched to just doing dance. And then I got really sick in 2012. I got diagnosed with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. It's like a high heart rate, low blood pressure. So I was like passing out all the time.
Yeah.
So I couldn't dance anymore. And I got into a depressive state and then switched my major to anatomy and physiology.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
mainly,
you can better murder the people that do you wrong.
yeah,
or-
that were like, you have to write a song. And I'd be like, well, I'm going to give you a lobotomy. Yeah. So I switched
Look,
my
there's
major.
nothing there. Sorry.
Exactly. Well, I was always really good at science. And so I was like, well, I can't do anything like physical and stuff that I wanted. So I switched to anatomy and physiology. And I never stopped acting. Even though I couldn't dance anymore, I'd never stopped acting. Like I did local community theaters. I did play productions. I did some pageants. I've done a lot of short indie films in Columbus, where I live-ish near. And so I did like a lot of that stuff, and I never stopped. And I think that that's why I like D&D so much, is because
Yeah.
the acting is like, I like being, I don't know, I don't have a word for that.
You like telling a story and performing characters and
Yes.
waving your hands around.
Yeah. I like being like, I just like making people smile, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome. What's some of your favorite plays you worked on?
I did Snow White twice.
Did you play the same
I've
character
been-
both times?
Snow White.
Oh, nice.
I have pictures of that too. Yes, Snow White is my absolute favorite Disney princess, and I legit studied. I studied for that role, and I paid somebody to give me private voice lessons so that I could get up to a high enough octave to be able to try out for that. So in our local theater, we did they did a production of Snow White, and it was 4 months long. And we did it every Saturday and Sunday. So it was like a Saturday night and then Sunday matinee. And I did it for 4 weeks, and I only missed one show, my understudy stuff, but I was very excited about it. And then the second time that I did it was like a town over. They were doing a production, but it was like, it wasn't like, so like I did the first one in the Ohio theater, and when I did the next one, it was just like a town community one. And when they asked me, I feel really guilty about this. Oh my God, I feel so guilty about this. They asked me, have you ever been in any productions? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And they're like, well, what have you played? And I was like, well, I've actually played Snow White before. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, I played at the Ohio Theater. And the one guy like remembered me, and I didn't have to try out. He just gave me the part. And I felt like such a brat, because when I walked out, like all like, oh, I got the part, I'm seeing like this line of girls like sitting there all excited to be like going, and they didn't even get a chance.
Oh,
And I felt so guilty, but I've been in their position before,
yeah.
especially now that I'm older, where like it's who you know and stuff like that. And so I felt really, really guilty about that. But yeah, so
That's hard. That's hard.
yeah.
Was
So
the because a lot of plays and stuff, like the director really does. People sometimes don't realize, they're like, oh, the director, because there are the plays where the director doesn't really do anything, but then
yeah,
there's the plays where like the pacing is done by the director and the blocking is done by the director, and
yeah,
the everything is run by that, and like how
yeah,
you say certain things and what emphasis they want the words on.
yeah.
When you're playing them both back to back, was it hard to go, I did this one and now I'm doing this one, but but they're not the same?
Yeah, it was weird, because the original one, like the one for Ohio Theater that I did, they were very much focused on like the whole big production of everything, like balancing different sound vocals, like balancing the solos with the chorus and the different like the soprano, alto, bass, tenor, all of those in the chorus. You have to have a specific balance to make it sound like, ah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and but in the community theater that we did, they really only cared about like the main people, and then everyone else was kind of like muted colors, pushed back. So that was different for me, because it wasn't so much a team as it was like they had like their main actors, and then the rest of the people were just there to fill the space. And so it was definitely different. You could tell a different level of
Yeah.
professionalism, but they also weren't as strict with a lot of things. Like I showed up like every day wearing like like a leotard, and like I was like ready to go, and there's people just like wearing jeans and like t-shirts, and I'm just like standing there like looking like a dorky ballerina, like
Looking like a
waiting for
pro, looking
practice.
like a pro.
Yeah, yes, I get that. I did get complimented on that, but I didn't make very many friends. I had a lot of people that were just kind of like looking at, I don't know, I felt really awkward. I never did anything for that community theater again,
Yeah.
because I felt super uncomfortable. Um, but the last thing I did at Ohio Theater was the Magic Flute.
Okay.
So it's like an opera. So I did that the like right before COVID. So was that 2019?
Okay.
It was 2019. It's like
Like,
the
I know when COVID
winter,
was, but I
like
don't know when the play
Janu-
was.
like January to March of 2019. I did Magic Flute. We did Turandot. We did 12th Night. I've done Fiddler on the Roof.
Hey, we have a play in
So-
common.
Yay! Who did you play?
I didn't play. I was just a background character for that one.
Oh,
Sorry.
I played Ottle, which was one of the daughters. Um, so I played. So that one was a lot of fun to do, actually. because we had this guy that was friends with the director, and he was from Hungary, I want to say.
Okay.
And he basically like was telling us like history and stuff of like Jewish heritage and stuff like
Yeah.
that, so that we could get into the mindset of what it was like and why they were doing these things, and like, why are you like selling your kids, like you know,
Yeah.
it's more to that, and like talking about like how tradition was very important. And so they said, well, tradition is very important to the people, and so you need to know the traditions. And so it was able to get you into the mindset of how to really present yourself and actually feel like the character. Because when it comes to acting, for somebody to believe you as that character, you have to believe it yourself.
Right.
And so
Yep.
that's kind of like I think that's probably the hardest part, is like, if you can't convince yourself of it, then you can't convince anyone else. So it takes a lot of confidence.
I tell people that about self-esteem as well. They're like, I don't, when people, I don't believe in myself, or I don't this, or I don't that. And it's like,
Yeah.
you have to make yourself believe it before other people
Yeah.
will. Because there are people that are like, oh, they're like, I'm so ugly. I'm like, you're not ugly. You need to stop saying that to yourself. Stop the negative self-talk. Start believing in yourself, and other people will see that.
I have a hard time with that, because being in like the light, I guess, I don't want to say that. That sounds really weird. Being in the spotlight, being like on stage. So the first time I ever did anything was I was in the screw. Oh my God, my brain. Scrooge. Oh my gosh.
Scrooge, Christmas Carol.
Scrooge. Christmas Carol. Thank you. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I was Scrooge when I was like 5.
Oh,
Was
wow.
my first stage performance, and I did it because my uncle was a baker in a Christmas Carol, and he brought me along to like some of the practices, and they needed like kids, but they didn't hire the kids until like 2 weeks before, because the kids would just like, I guess, sit there and be bored or whatever, and
Yeah.
they were only in like a couple scenes. And so I got to play like a kid, and I was like really excited about it. And my very first night on stage, though, I was so excited that I just stood there like this, like the whole time. Like I was just like, and the director was talking to me like, okay, like you're supposed to be really sad. And I was like, okay, like I have to be sad. And so then I was like, I was so bad. I was so bad. But because of the lack of the lack of children, I guess,
Yeah,
in the area where I grew
so
up,
they didn't have a choice.
yeah, like where I grew up is not where I live now. And so it was very small community theater. And so I basically got a role in every single one after that, because they needed kids. And so that's like kind of how I started, was like as a kid. And then as I got older, like I learned things from watching people and, you know, watching the director and like taking notes and stuff, until I eventually started having like actual roles. And my first like actual role was, I was an ugly stepsister in Cinderella. And I
Okay.
was so excited about it, because I was super
They must
excited
have
about
needed
it,
a lot
because
of makeup for
like,
that.
yeah, I did. They gave me a unibrow because so I was 17, and they gave me a unibrow because they were like, the director was like, well, you look a little brighter. Those were the words. She's like, you look brighter than our Cinderella, so we're gonna give you a unibrow. And I was like, okay. So they like double thicked my
You know what she meant
eyebrows,
by
and
that,
like,
right? You know what she meant by that.
I think I was just more like vibrant and
Yeah.
in your face,
Yeah.
sort of a situation. So they gave me a unibrow and like a mole, like right here. I was like, I nailed it. I loved being the ugly stepsister because I didn't have to sing well. I just had to sing like on key,
Yeah.
but I had like a really nasally voice that I did. and I was able to project it really well. So I was the only person on that stage in that performance that was not mic'd. Like they had the mics that drop down for the chorus, and then everybody that has like speaking part, they would have like their own mic. And I literally could do it so loudly that I didn't need to be mic'd. And yeah, I guess that's when I actually like fell in love with the theater.
Yeah.
Was
I
when I was an ugly
I did some
stepsister.
theater in like for church stuff when I was
Yep.
little, but it was mostly like so I bounced around. A lot of people know this. I bounced around from school to school, so like, but and I wasn't a military kid, but I might as well have been for the number of schools I had been in. And so by the time, so I was like, I spent 2 years in the same middle school, and that was amazing for me because like 2 years with all the same kids.
Aw.
And but I noticed because when you're bouncing, when you're going from school to school to school to school, your number one, it's like survival. Your number one thing is don't get picked on, don't get made fun of, and how do you
Yep.
fit in right away, real quick. The
Yeah.
quicker you can fit in, the better. And so I noticed in middle school, like all the cool kids were doing theater stuff. All the popular kids were doing theater stuff. People didn't pick on all the kids that were in theater. So then when I eventually moved to the next school, because it was bound to happen in my mind,
Yeah.
so then I moved and it was like high school, and I was like, okay, well, and my mom's like, you need to join something. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to do like, because I had done sports, I had done musical instruments that I just never followed through on. And so I was like, I'm going to sign up for this theater thing. And so I signed up for theater, and the very first play we did was called Damn Yankees. And I didn't perform in it. I was a freshman, but I showed up for all the things, and I ended up being backstage. So I was like building stuff, props, stage, all of that kind of stuff. And I was just, we got done with that performance and that show, and I loved it. It was amazing, and I was like, why am I not doing what those, pointing to the kids out on the stage? Why am I not doing what they're doing? I can do what they're doing better than they can. I guarantee. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so then I just started trying out and auditioning for them. And I, first couple plays, it was just like background characters. And then eventually I started getting actual roles. And I think there was one, we did a one act where where the students got to write and direct their show, and then went on tour. And it wasn't a one act, it was after the one act, but it was like a student written plays. It was all supposed to be based on violence. So I wrote this play, this story, and I was like going to perform in it, and I kind of knew exactly what I wanted, and I had a couple of my people that I knew in it. And then from that point on, the theater teacher started giving me actual roles, because like they actually got to see me perform.
Hey.
And so then that's when I started getting actual things. And then I met a couple people, because she would bring in, so our teacher was like she knew people in the theater industry, like really big, powerful names. And like our senior year, they brought in professional actors from New York, because she just knew them. And they came in, and like we got to do like a monologue, perform a monologue in front of them and get critiqued on it. And, just all kinds of cool stuff. All of our plays were like, all of our costuming was from the big theater in the state. Like the Broadway people go there when they're not on Broadway to perform, and our costumes came from that theater, because she knew people there.
That is so cool.
So yeah, so it was pretty cool to do that. But because she knew people, like we would meet people, and then from there certain students would get, so like my best friend Matt, who shows up on the thing as Zion, he got to go and do Macbeth at a local theater and perform there with a guy. That's where I ended up going. I went into that same theater a year or two later and did Hamlet. I did a couple other local smaller things. So yeah, theaters, and then of course.
Time's up.
But yeah, and then we did the wrestling and Renaissance festivals and all that kind of stuff. Then branches off from that, and improv.
I'm so jealous that you did Renfest. Like, so jealous.
Why?
I wanted so badly to do ours, but the Ohio Renaissance Festival is like an hour south of where I live.
Yeah.
So I would have to stay down there because it's like I think Fridays and Saturdays, or Saturdays and Sundays. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, ours was a 45-minute drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so
At least our local
just,
one. This doesn't include the ones that were out of state that we would have to drive like 5 hours to get to.
yeah, I just don't think I could.
Yeah.
I just, yeah, don't think I could.
But hey, if you could always apply and try out and stuff. Hey, I arrested a guy at a Renfest out here, Paradox Destro.
Nice.
There's always police arresting people at the like. I think our Renaissance Festival has like permanent police that just stay there specifically for incidences because it gets rowdy. You get people that are drinking, you get people that are being inappropriate, and there's just all kinds of stuff. It's probably a lot better now than it used to be.
Yeah.
And I've heard stories from people who have been doing it for 30, 40 years. So my top number is 13 in a fest. Oh man. Like 13 people you've arrested?
At one festival,
At
or
one.
was it like multiple?
I'm assuming it's his
Um,
top number. All right.
What
You
is
need to take a break? I think we need to take a break.
Yeah, my son's crying. I don't know why.
Well, we're going to
Do you
step away,
mind?
guys. We're going to be right back. We've got more to talk about. We're going to talk about role playing. We're going to talk about, well, who knows what we're going to talk about. We've got role playing, and then we've got our potluck where we just talk about
It's
whatever.
up in the air.
Yeah, whatever happens. So guys, stick around, hang out, chat with each other. We'll be back in just a moment with the one and only Scarblade. Hello, we are back from break, back from taking restroom break and food break or liquid break or potty break or whatever the breaks are that we need.
All
We
of
talked
them.
about being on. So like beforehand we're like just chatting and then it's like, okay, here we go. Got to be in whatever, in mode, in character, in on.
I call it this.
Yeah.
That's it. Doesn't
I
need
don't
words.
call it this, but I don't know because that's not a word to me, but
It is. You just, if you don't understand, you never will.
I guess I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't.
It's like in the movie Pocahontas when they say, "Listen with your heart, you will understand."
Not
Feel
by-
communication.
Because my heart has ears and it can listen. But only if the bass is turned up really loud. You ever have that where the bass is so loud you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I feel like I get anxiety. Like I feel like it's like changing the rhythm of my heart, and I feel like my body starts pulsing at like whatever tempo like the bass is. Oh, it makes me so anxious. It makes me
Or when the
I'm
cars go
I'm
by
I'm
and
like
you can hear the bass, but only because the really falling apart car is vibrating to pieces. It's like
Mhm. Yeah. I feel like it like rattles in my head. I'm like, there's something loose in my head because it's like rattling with the music.
We talked
Oh, wow.
earlier when we were talking about theater. Actually, both when we were talking about Minecraft and talking about theater, there was one subject that came up in both of those. Whether it's you grab your minis off your shelf and you're there talking to each other,
Mhm.
or you're in theater and you're talking about performing in front of people and getting your need from that from role playing. And the next subject is indeed role playing.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. How did you get introduced into role play? Like what got you into it? How did you find out about it?
I guess a couple different ways. So it started with D&D, but I was like, for some reason, I was really shy to play my character. I don't know why. Like I did theater, I did, short films, but for some reason, standing there or sitting there at the table and having somebody be like, "What do you do, Eris Nightblade?" And I'm like, I walk over. Like I couldn't figure out how to like explain what I was doing while also being in character. I struggled like really bad. And once I got used to actually like knowing what I was doing with D&D, I started to get more into that. So I think it was really just the mechanics of the game. So there was that piece, and then improv. I was in an sorry, I almost died.
While
I
you're
was
clearing
in
your
an
throat, hello Midwest Miniature Guy. By the way, if you like miniatures and you like miniature painting, Midwest
Love
Mini Guy
him.
is your person to go to. He is amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
I am like how there's some people that are dice goblins. I'm like a mini goblin. I love all the minis. Very visual when it comes to my campaigns.
Pretty much everybody in our friend group, when they don't want to paint minis themselves, they go to him.
Really?
Everybody, and yeah, that's everybody. Like he has a booth at the local at all the local conventions where he does stuff. So like he's freaking awesome.
I love that. I'm following you right now.
Follow him. I think he's on tonight. Are you on tonight or Wednesday? I don't remember.
Brilliant.
I can't remember. He does. I know he does Sunday nights, and I can't remember if it was Mondays or Wednesdays. And then he does some other pickup days as well, where he streams and does stuff. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Nice.
he's a great person. Great person.
Yay.
Yay!
Um,
I'm on
what
in
was
20
I
minutes, so it is tonight. Yeah, tonight. I was pretty sure that it was on Mondays because you usually run parallel to this show. Awesome.
I'm very excited. I'm definitely gonna. Does he paint minis like on?
On stream, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that. I can't paint them. I don't have like a steady enough hand to like get those little spats. I don't know. I painted one before, and I call her Mudface
Yeah.
because all of the colors on the face just sort of mixed, and she's just like,
Practice though. Practice. You have to practice.
oh,
Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. Hey, I was right on all accounts.
oh, yay!
I knew for sure it was Sunday, and I was like, is it Monday or Wednesday? It's both. So there we go.
I will be watching that.
We will be watching you. Let me look here. You all have a sub, so yeah, you can totally post a link. You can totally post a link. And I did do a shout out, so your thing came up for people to click on it. But yeah, go ahead.
Huzzah!
Make sure we can. Here, let me pause our timer real quick. I'm gonna do it. We'll do a regular shout out. Pause that.
I love minis.
Hopefully, it'll be a clip where we can see him. There we go. He's got a Facebook group. Facebook Midwest Miniature Guy. One word. I don't know why it separated that. So there you go.
Minis.
You can see him kind of.
Oh my gosh!
And then we can switch it up and do
I have like 1,000 minis I could send you.
for some of the other straps. I think
That is amazing.
pretty cool.
There's the fixed link for his Facebook group. And he also goes live on Facebook too, if I'm not mistaken. So
Really?
yeah,
I'm not
there you
on
go.
Facebook.
Midwest Miniature Guy. We're talking about role playing. Perfect timing. Perfect timing for him to come in. Love his stuff. Great person. All the support for Midwest Miniature Guy. So you were like trying to learn like, oh, I can just say what I want to do.
Yes. And I got okay. I started getting pretty good at it. The switching back and forth between like being in character and being like, this is what I do. And so my character just started like announcing in third person what she was going to do every time,
Okay.
so that I wouldn't have to switch back and forth between Scarlet and Eris. And it just sort of like kind of whatever. So that was really fun. And I was in an improv group in Columbus, and we did like improv competitions for like
Okay.
comedy shows and stuff. And I learned a lot. I was really good at, I've always been really good at like following the rules and like following instruction, which is why I did so well in theater. But when it came to improv, I was like, it was a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
And it was really fun because I was so scared I was going to say something inappropriate. Like I was like, what if I say a bad word? And they're like, it'll be funny because you never do. And I'm like,
Right.
but
Right.
like I was so scared of like, and I would get really scared about like making fun of somebody, or like, what if I don't know, like, I don't always know the social rules. There's a lot of social rules.
Right.
And I was so scared that I was going to get too into it and that I was going to say something offensive. And I quickly learned that in like a comedy show, that's like semi okay,
Yeah.
because there's like certain things, like learning to laugh about yourself. There's, I mean, certain things you don't say, obviously, but they're
Right.
not things I would ever say in real life anyway. And
But there's some things
So we
where
have, like-
you get a little bit more freedom because they know that it's there as a joke. It's as a comedy. They know you're not trying to insult somebody for realsies.
yes, exactly. And it was a lot of fun. And I struggled at the beginning being able to like come out of my shell. And so I joined because one of the guys that I did dinner theaters with was in charge of this group. And he was like, "You'd be so good at it. You're so witty." And I'm like, "I'm not witty though." And he's like, "Yeah, you're always talking backstage and just like the most ridiculous things come out of your mouth." And I'm like, "It's just because I'm puking. Like, it's not that big of a deal." And he's like, "Okay, well, you're going to try anyway." So I was like, "Fine." So I went with him. I didn't say it like that. I wasn't like, "Fine," but
Fine.
it was more like, as okay, let's do it. So I went and we just played like improv games. This was before they did competitions. They were just like a group that did
Yeah.
little performances. And I was like, this is really fun. And I got really into the ones where it was like very back and forth. And I was able to really tap into more creativity. And then when I started doing that, that's when I was kind of like, so our group was called the Meow Hatton Project. And so we had cat ears and scientists. Anyway, so we're the Meow Hatton Project. And so that was like our group.
Okay.
And I think I might have like a picture or two on my Instagram of me in this group.
Okay.
And I'm talking about 6 different things at once. Sorry.
We knew that was going to happen, though, didn't we? Didn't we say ahead of time, like, we're going to get off topic? We're going to start
Yeah,
talking about
and-
another thing and then start talking about another thing. You know
I
what?
know,
Just
like-
keep going on. I'm going to pause the timer and we can finish this. See how that
Okay,
works? It's really
okay.
simple.
Perfect. My tangents get tangents, and then it's like I'm before you know it, I'll be talking about like the zoo and like my first pair of
What's
shoes.
your
Like
favorite
I don't
animal
know.
at the
I don't
zoo?
know.
No,
how
no,
that
no.
is.
Let's not.
We do have the best zoo here in Columbus, though. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, do you
It's
now?
cleanest.
I don't know about that.
It's pretty big. It is. It's the best. Look it up. I'm not lying. It's the best. Columbus Zoo is the best as far as zoos go. But anyway, I digress. We weren't talking about the
You
zoo.
digress 3 times.
Yes. But we did a lot of like comedy shows and stuff, and that's when I was like, I really like this. Like I like the role playing. And it was like, you were first you'd be like an old man, and then like 2 minutes later you're like a little girl, and then you're like Russian, and then you're like, like you're mute, or then you're blind, or then you're like a love scene, horror scene. And it was just like so quick. And I love the fingers. That's fun.
Thank you, Grinder, for the dancey song. Isn't that
I,
Jack Hanna's zoo? Somebody asked if that's Jack Hanna's zoo.
Yes,
There you
it
go.
is.
There's the answer.
Yes.
Not off.
I think it's the best. You can't know until you've been to the zoos. I've been to a lot of zoos.
I love zoos.
I
I
like-
love zoos.
I love animals, and I like elephants.
All right, 2 weeks. We're doing a follow up. We're going to talk about zoos. We're going to talk more about improv. We're going to just
Yes,
It's a whole
all of
new set of conversation topics.
all of the things. Yes.
Part
I
2
can't
of
even remember-
Scarblade. It's because we have so many things
I-
in common. It's hilarious.
I know. My brain just. I'm like a Jane of all trades. I've done so many things because it's like I would get bored and I would just want to know. I don't know. I'm going on another tangent again. I can't even remember what we were talking about. Improv, I think.
Role playing.
That's what.
But
Yeah,
it
role
went-
playing. Oh my
Role playing
gosh.
went on to improv. Went on
I
to
still
the
think ours is
zoo.
the
Went
best.
on to the...
But doing improv is what made me decide to actually DM a D&D game, because I was like, I was telling my friend, I was like, I like changing all the voices. He's like, well, maybe you should DM because then you could just create a bunch of characters and you could be them. And I was like, this is great. So then I got like the first 3 books, I got the monster manual, I got the player's handbook, and I got the DM guide. And I was like, let's go. And being the textbook obsessed science nerd that I am, I read all 3 books
Whoa.
cover to cover before
Whoa.
writing my game because I thought that's what everyone did. Apparently, no one does that. Okay, I read the DM guide like 6 times. Like, I literally went through and took notes. I have a binder of notes, and I used like maybe an eighth of it.
Wow.
Like, because I was struggling so much about the TM my life and make it more favorable. I will paradox. I will. You can add +6 to all of your rolls.
+6.
I
Don't worry about money. Just you buy it.
Wait, what?
I said, and don't worry about money. You just buy it.
You just buy
You
it.
just buy it.
So I couldn't pronounce anything because so I don't know if anybody knows this, but I'm dyslexic. And so reading is like, if I don't know the word, which I know this sounds stupid because you're like, well, just read it. But like, if I don't know the word, my brain has a really hard time like figuring out what order those letters are in.
Right.
Because when you read a word, it's like, it's not like a vision problem. It's a language problem, like a language processing issue is really what dyslexia is.
Yeah.
And so I was really struggling with like the lore of like all these different things. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own.
Yeah.
And so I started with a pantheon. I created my own pantheon. I have currently 48 gods.
Wow. Just going all
in
out.
my pantheon. And they have their own intricate backstories. Like I have all of that because I was like, okay, well, I got to create my main gods because they have to create the world, but I have to know why they're creating the world before they create the world, because otherwise, like, why are they creating the world and why do they exist? So I created these gods and then I created the world. And then I was like, okay, well, why are they here? Like, what is this area like? What is this area like? And before you knew it, I had a folder on my computer of 160 some NPCs with full multi-page backgrounds. And then I used an algorithm on Microsoft Excel to calculate relationships between all of my NPCs. And so I'm so ridiculous about this. And so if you kill somebody, it's like if the players kill somebody, I'll go in and like mark it, and then that will affect your relationship status with everybody. Because it's
Wow.
like if this person knows this person, now this person might have +1 favor to you or +3 favor. And so it's like green is +2, yellow is +1, orange is -1, and red is -2. And then 0 is just black. And so I would go through and it automatically calculates based off of what is in each row.
Damn.
Anyway, so I did that, being obsessed with Excel that I am. And I literally am like, well, I can't really create a story. I'm just going to create this immaculate world and you guys can just
Do whatever you want. Yeah.
exist in it, and I'll just alter the world around you. And so the lore that was created for my world was created through playing the games. And then like I add that in. And so every time we have a new campaign, it's in my world, but it's taking place like after the one that just happened. So the stuff that they did affects it. And so now there's like this world war happening because they failed so many times. And it's, yeah, so I got really into that, and I have like ridiculous stories about all of my, like, I don't know, this is about role playing and I'm talking about my D&D world. I'm so sorry.
Well, D&D is role playing, isn't it? That's the point.
Indeed it is.
Have you
Wait.
gotten a lot of time getting to play as a character as well? Play your own character, or is it a lot of D&D?
No. Since I started DMing, I've been the forever DM for like the past 7 years, 7 or 8 years. I've been like the permanent DM. And we started with once a month, and then we slowly made it to every Friday. And then about a year ago, we started doing every other Friday.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And now it's only on Minecraft nights.
I know. I'm so bummed about that. Because I have to decide between my two passions. Like, how can you decide between the orange and the apple? Like, so it's, yeah. But I love D&D. I love it. I love it so much. It's just, I get to do all the things. You get to tell stories. You get to like be silly characters. You get to add mystery. I get to make props. Like I bought like a resin kit so that I could make my own like mystical gems and like
Whoa.
hide them, and like I make intricate puzzles, and like I'll take like I bought like fancy parchment, like this like fancy like parchment that looks like old and stuff, and I'll
Wow.
like write out scrolls, and like I'll like make fake blood and put fake blood on it, and I'll like burn stuff, and I've made puzzles that I make them do like in real life, like
Yeah.
they're not just like I choose to drink the red bottle. I'll be like, here, drink the red bottle, do it, see what happens. Like I'll just do little stuff, and I do like I did this smell like test once where I have like these essential oil bottles, and I put like different smells on these different like little pieces of linen, and then they would like find them because they were in like this dark place and they like were losing their senses. They had their sense of smell, and so they had to like figure out how to get out by like following the smell of lemon. Like literally I get like too into it, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's just it. You need to set up like a table with cameras, and you need to do your own live stream roleplay session with you as a GM.
We've talked about it. We've talked about it many times, but like there's so many different things. Like a lot of the people in my group are very introverted, and they're kind of like, well, I don't know if I'm comfortable with people like hearing my voice, or
Right.
I'm going to act different if I know that I'm being recorded. And we've
Yeah.
talked about recording it, editing out like personal talk, and then
I know we have
putting it on
in
YouTube.
in one of our groups. So I had very similar things. So like my wife is an introvert and she plays on
Mhm.
stream, but then I have another friend who's we have a lot of friends who's introvert, but another one that's on the stream, and like it's a whole process because she's
Mhm.
like, if people are going to be watching, it doesn't matter if the square that person is on is this big in the lower corner. Like I'm going to be
Mhm.
on there and people can see me, so I need to make sure makeup is on point, and hair and clothing,
Yep.
and the pants and the shoes and the whatever. You can't see any of that because it's this much of you and you're this big on the corner. But like
Yeah.
that is it's a huge stressor on them as an introvert, regardless of whether they're in person interacting with people or not. Whereas like my
Absolutely.
wife, who is also introverted, is like, whatever. I'm by myself in the room with the dog. Like that
Mhm.
doesn't bother me. So it's like they're all introverted, but there's still different levels and different things of what is draining and what isn't draining to people.
Yeah. I did just join a campaign. Um, it was supposed to start in June, but I think it's going to be starting sometime in July, and it's on your Uncle Meatball's channel.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I know Uncle People.
yeah, and so I'm in that, and I finally get to like play again, and I was like making my character sheet, and I'm like, I don't know why. I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm like, this is weird. Like I know the rules. I know how to like run a campaign, but for some reason, like being like a player, I was just like, I don't remember what this is like. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like, what do I, where do I want to put these points? Like, I don't know what I'm doing, which I don't even know what class I want to be. There's so many things I like. And so I basically created my backstory before I even before I even chose my race and class,
yeah,
because I was like, I can do this. Like,
yeah. You can do the storyline, but it's
so
the crunch.
yeah. But I mean, I've talked about doing D&D on stream before, but like there's so many things to have to do. Like I feel like I would have to run it. I would have to have somebody else running
The
like
stream.
the stream, because I just feel like I would be so I'm a perfectionist, and so I feel like I would be focusing on this and focusing on that. And if I have a habit of reading chat and responding to everything I see.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I will stop and acknowledge the people in chat because I don't want to be rude.
Right.
And I'm like, if I'm playing D&D, I can't just be like, I'm going to take my dagger and hi, how are you? I love you.
Welcome in. Yeah.
And I'm gonna shove it in his face. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't.
Somebody
So I
clip
feel
that,
like
by the way. Somebody clip that, by the way.
like I feel like I wouldn't be able to handle it, and it's a lot. And the campaigns I do a lot of visual aids. Like I have like a PowerPoint presentation that I play. So like I have like images of all of my NPCs, and I'll have them like I'll like animate it so they like walk in, or like a room will fill with smoke, or I don't know. So I'm like, how would I incorporate? I'm like, how can I get them to see what I'm seeing? Like, I don't know. So it's a lot. We're talking about role playing, and I'm not. I'm sorry.
That was role time, but we're talking about role playing
I
stuff.
also don't know why I keep looking up there. There's nothing up there except a wall. I'm just like,
You don't want to look at me. You're like,
I'm so awkward.
well, and I always ask people, especially on like when I have people on the podcast, you know,
Mhm.
talking about stuff, I always ask them if they're role players. You know, not everybody that I have
Mm-hmm.
on is a role player, but I oftentimes will ask them, do they prefer to GM or prefer to play? And it's
Mm-hmm.
obviously here that you prefer to GM over playing. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I feel I don't want to say I feel more in control, but I do.
Well, I mean, you are in control. That's
Yeah,
literally the
I
job.
I have one of my main flaws in life is I interrupt people. I try so hard not to, and it's like I feel like when their voice gets to a certain spot, like that they're done talking, but they're not done talking. And so then I'm like, and then they're still talking. I'm like, okay, they're still talking. And I've tried, and I feel rude. And so then I'm like overly like paying attention. I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to ask them more because I want to make sure that, you know, they're being heard. And I don't want them to think that I'm selfish because I just interrupted them just now, even though I didn't mean to. And then my brain like worries that I'm like being a jerk, like, and I don't know.
There's like an ADHD thing to that, and I don't know if this is the case for you or not, but there's definitely like a thing where your brain processes everything, and your brain processes what they've said before their brain processes that they've said anything or whether they're done. And so like my wife does the same thing. She'll be saying something and then and then she'll continue, and I'll finish verbally. I'll try and like, is this what you're trying to say? Is this what you're trying to say? Is this what you're trying to say? And then I get that look like, dude, just shut up and let me finish. And so I think I've gotten really good lately to just like sit there and wait patiently, and you know, because my brain does that.
Oh, that's the timeout song.
Do you like that song?
I feel like I should wear fairy. I do. I feel like I should be wearing fairy wings and like ascending from descending from the sky with like a wand.
Do a little dance, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's definitely, I think that's definitely a thing that our brains do. So I don't think it's, as long as you realize you do it, and like if there's certain people that happens to a lot, just be like, hey, if I do this, I'm sorry, it's not intentional.
Yes.
There's a reason it happens. I'm just letting you know. Either A, I tend to do this, or B, I'm sorry if I do this. Just interrupt me back, you know?
Yep.
Sort of situation. Be like, oh, I'm not done.
Yep. Usually when I'm talking to Ivy, I do it like constantly, and he'll be trying to say something, and then I literally will start to like do this with my hand, or be like, oh, sorry, no, go, sorry. And I have to like keep my mouth shut, like literally physically keep my mouth shut, because I'm just like, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Let's move on to the next subject. I understand. Let's just read each other's minds. Like,
right.
He's like, but I do it back. And it is true. He does do it back.
Yes, he does.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Aww,
That's Mucky,
so
me,
cute.
and Octavius. Me and Mucky and Octavius.
Oh my gosh. I love the hedge of it.
Don't hurt me no more.
I feel like that looks like a scene that you guys would actually do, though.
We keep joking about doing a 3-person off the pod with the 3 of us.
Yes.
It's been a conversation that might end up becoming a serious thing at some point down the road.
Exactly.
The mind reading helps things. It does help with things. Thank you, Grinder,
Yeah.
for the What is Love with me and Oct and Mucky McFly, who is now sleeping.
That's adorable.
What speaking of the alerts that because we've gotten to see a few tonight, are there any of your alerts that you're like, I really like my alerts? Or are you working on alerts or anything like that on your stream?
All my alerts right now are stream elements, I think.
Yeah,
I don't have,
because I know you and I
like-
talked a little bit about it, about
Mhm.
doing some more, because I honestly think you should take all of your clips of you singing and make them all at different price points for alerts.
yeah,
New ideas
Ivy
still
and
here.
Ew, yeah, we've talked about doing little things like that, and what tends to happen is we'll sit down for hours and have conversations about all the things we should do, and then we never do any of them. Usually because we're like, we should do this, and then they're like, oh, but what if we do this? Like, oh my gosh, yeah. Or we could do this. Oh yeah, I got it. We're gonna do this. And we just like one up ourselves constantly. And then it becomes like too intense and we don't do anything. And then like weeks later, we'll be like, oh yeah, weren't we gonna do this? Oh yeah, we're gonna do this. And then it happens again. It's just like this
Turn it up, yeah. Turn
progression.
it up, yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Turn it up, yeah. No, turn it up.
That's one of my favorite clips of you.
There are so many at this point now. There's a handful of I think I just added 2 or 3 new ones that are on there that have only been played a small handful of times. They're higher price point ones now, just because all of the lower ones, let's play them all tonight. Dear God, better get started. But yeah, there's the Bentley Apology song's been played a handful of times. The snack song, I don't think the snack song's been played yet. Maybe once.
I don't remember that one.
It's a new one. It's a new one. And the only one that I really like is the dancing on the controller one. That's the only one that I look at and I'm like, that one's fun. That's a fun clip, is the dancing on the controller. But the other ones are all like so embarrassing.
I think a lot of my clips are embarrassing because I don't remember saying things.
Right.
And I'll just go back and I'll look at a clip and I'm like, oh my gosh, what was I talking about right there? Like, I have no idea. Like, there's one clip of me describing a zombie train, which I still want to do, by the way, which was really weird because I described this like train. Okay. It was prophetic. Probably not, but it might have been. Anyway, so I live in Ohio and I have a train whistle because I love trains because I'm basically Sheldon. And I remember the zombie train. Yes. And I went on this whole like 5-minute spree of talking about this train that I wanted to show up on my screen with zombies and like hit the zombies and then like goo comes out and it like drips from the screen and like says stuff. And so I went on and on and on about this. And then 2 weeks later, there was that giant train crash in Ohio.
Oh yeah.
With like all that toxic stuff. So, I mean, I wasn't trying to make it actually happen. Like, I just wanted it to like cartoon happen, like on my screen.
So please tell me about an alert you want to make with me winning like a lottery. You want to talk about that alert that you want to do?
Oh, absolutely. I can do that. Like the time that like I want to have this clip of you and like you're like sitting there at home and you just like randomly picked out these lottery numbers and then all of a sudden the lottery comes on and you're just sitting here chatting and the numbers go off and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And your voice gets higher and higher and higher and you win like $1 billion. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be
There.
super cool. That'd be
Hopefully
a
this
great
comes
alert. That
true
would be
now.
a great alert.
Confirmed Scar manifested the train crash. I did feel quite guilty about it because I was
FBI
literally
is
talking
listening.
about toxic sludge and
The FBI is listening. Shh. Be careful. What's that? Someone's here.
someone's knocking on my
Oh, yeah.
door. What's happening?
Phone call. They're calling you. They're like, did you really do that?
Yes, a 5'3" ditzy blonde from Ohio totally orchestrated that.
So I never used these sound things. And I looked over. I was like, this would be a perfect time to play the ring thing. And
I so badly want sound effects. I keep saying I'm going to do these things and then I never do. Because I think about them like right before I'm about to stream, like 10 minutes before I stream, or like while I'm streaming. And I'm like, I don't want to do it after my stream because I'm tired and I have to go eat.
right.
Holy
So it's only thought about around streams.
That particular alert didn't play it, so now I got to go manually play it because it didn't play.
I saw
properly.
that.
Yeah, I was like, holy! I know which one it was too, and I really probably shouldn't replay it, but I'm a good person.
You say holy guacamole.
I'm a good person, and I'll replay it. Give me a second to hit replay. I don't know why sometimes they just don't play properly.
None of my stuff. I don't have any, so I'm just commenting to hear my own voice.
And what an amazing voice it is.
Holy crap.
Ah,
I don't even know what balls I have.
tried.
That didn't come out right. Never mind.
Born too late to explore the earth.
Oh, I did the
Born
auto
too
text
early to
thing.
explore the universe. Born perfectly to explore dank memes.
Because when I replay it, it puts in a voice thing on its own, and I didn't hit delete on the voice thing that it
That was fun.
dank memes.
I love it.
What were we talking about? I don't know what we were talking about.
Potluck dinners, I think.
Potluck
Wait, what?
dinners? I don't know. So okay, so here's the question for you. So let's go back to talking about improv.
Yes.
So it's potluck. We talk about whatever the hell we want on potluck.
Okay,
So,
wonderful. Amazing.
I worked with an improv group as well, and I think improv, and like I grew up watching stand-up comedy, and a lot of stand-up comedy I think has a lot to do with improv, and I loved improv shows. I'd like to go to improv shows, and whose line is it anyway, and all that kind of improv stuff. But there is so many little nuanced things about improv that most people don't necessarily realize. And I've brought up yes and a bunch, just because that's one thing that I really enjoyed. And when I first learned about it, like I was very much like everybody else with yes ands, in that you have to start it with yes and then later you find out you don't have to start it with yes and. You just do the thing.
Take it as fact, yeah.
And
Once somebody adds something in.
Yeah, you just add some. You just something. Just be like, that is confirmed, and then you continue with it.
Yep.
Was there anything about improv that was extra like it took you a while, but then once you got it, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a key thing.
My reaction to things. Like sometimes people would say something and I would react as Scarlett instead of like the improver. Like if someone would be like, and I caught you with her mother, I would just like laugh because I'm like, oh, that's a funny joke, guys. But then I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be in this, like, and that was always hard because like you wouldn't know what's coming, and I had a hard time with that, and so I like my trick was when I was looking at the person, like I would kind of have like a soft gaze, so I wasn't really like I was looking at him, but they were like kind of like this.
You're looking through.
So like it looks like I'm looking, but it's like a soft gaze, so I can't actually see their facial features, and that would help take away some of like the funniness to me, and I could just like hear the word, and then just like I could stay more into my like 2-minute character and respond better, because that was really hard for me, was like reacting. I had a habit of just standing up there giggling, and I have a problem where when I start really laughing, like really laughing, like my throat closes up or something, and I start making this weird like sound, and it just like chortles out of me, and it's embarrassing and it hurts, and like I can't stop it, and the more I try to stop it, like the worse it gets.
Oh no.
And it's just like this weird sound. So I've actually been practicing for the last like few years to like, I've been trying to like have a normal person laugh, and it when I really start laughing and stuff, it doesn't, it still goes back to my weird like killer clown laugh. Like I don't even know what it is. Like I can't even like.
Is it something you could fake? You could impersonate?
I don't even know because I don't even know how I do it. I know it's like, "Ugh." It's like a sound like that. Like, I think there's a clip of it somewhere
I'll
on
have
my
to find it.
channel.
We
Of
need
me
Ivy. Ivy, we
laughing.
need you. Go find that clip and share it with us.
I know, right? Ivy, find the clip of me goo-gooing and because yeah, it's
Or send it to me
it's
because my Nightbot will not like it. The clip
yeah,
shared.
it's either Paradox, Lithadora, or IB would have access to those. Yeah, I'm like it's so embarrassing. Me, Paradox.
Paradox, yeah,
Yes,
Paradox
you.
can share it.
Yeah,
Paradox
it's
has
like
a subscriber, so they'll be able to. They'll be Nightbot will like them sharing a link if you find it.
yes, he has definitely heard the like I can't even do it like because it just like comes out. It's like I don't even know how it just happens.
just
Like my
happens.
throat, like I start laughing. You know when people start laughing and then you really start laughing and you get like that silent laugh
Yeah.
for like a hot second. Well, when you have that silent laugh, like nothing's coming out because your throat closes. Well, mine doesn't open back up. So like when I start making sounds again, I sound like a murder clown and I can't turn it off and I have to like try to calm down and like it like hurts and it's just I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happens. It's another flaw.
It's
I
probably
have loads
hilarious.
of them
Well, and
in my gigas.
when you're doing improv though, sometimes that breaking character is what's funny. Like Jimmy Fallon, that's how he
Yes.
got made famous, was because he kept breaking character and laughing at the
Really?
stuff. Yeah. Like some of
No
his
idea.
some of the SNL skits, he'd be doing something and he just couldn't keep a straight face. And that's what made those scenes funny, was him trying to keep a strate face
Trying
and
not to
failing
laugh.
miserably.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I think one of the issues when I would do like films and stuff here is when I get nervous, my words get a little bit jumbled and I like forget the words I'm trying to say. So then I like think that I'm saying the words, but
Yeah.
it's like not what I'm supposed to. I don't know. It doesn't compute. And I did clip the zombie train 2 parts. Oh, okay. It was a 2-part clip. I did
Wow.
talk for quite a while. And
You're gonna have to put it as a highlight so you get the whole thing in one.
is that how you do that?
Yeah. If it's some longer
I-
than a minute, you can do it as a highlight.
I had no idea. I don't know how to do any of those things. Usually I just tell Ivy what I want. And then he and the story of my dingaling. Yes. And my biangle and why it's not a triangle because technically it's not.
Because it's only got 2.
It only has 2 angles.
It only has
Yes.
2 angles. Yeah.
So I forget what I was talking about. Sorry.
You were talking about. I don't know what you're talking about either. I don't know. Distracted. See, this is how it goes. Especially but we knew that was going to happen today, right? We knew we were gonna
Exactly.
go off topic. We were gonna get distracted. We were gonna forget what we were talking about.
Yes, exactly. That tends to happen for sure. I think that happens when I'm actually having conversations with you and we're playing Minecraft.
Right.
Like something will remind one of us of like an actual thing in life that happened or something, and then that gets talked about and then it turns into something else which turns into something else, and then before you know it, like my character is just like standing there and it's like dying and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
wait,
Oh,
hang
there's
on,
a
I'm still
creeper.
playing Minecraft. Exactly. And then I hear my son
Yeah.
creeping. I love it.
Do you have any games that you want to play coming up on stream?
So I did something 2 years ago in October called Scartober where I played scary games because I scream and apparently people find that entertaining. I found it terrifying. I stopped with Resident Evil 4 and so I thought about continuing the Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
I did some Red Dead Redemption.
Ooh, I love Red Dead Redemption.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. But I had to play it on Xbox because I stream from a laptop. So
Yeah.
I'm using like a laptop right now. I don't have a desktop computer. And my laptop, this is the 3rd one I've had since I started streaming. And I started streaming like 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse. So it's just not strong enough to play like computer games and stream. Like I have so many issues with it, and I've done all the
Yeah. So
things
you
to
have to
try to
like
fix
share.
it.
You have to share
Yeah.
the game
And
stream.
plus I use like a DSLR camera. Like I don't use like my stream camera anymore because
Because
of many
DSLR is so
reasons.
much nicer.
Yeah, and I rather like it, but then that takes more resources. And so it's like every little thing that I have here, it just pulls, and I can't seem to do that. So um I can't play a lot of computer games, which is why I played Stardew Valley, was because I could play it on my laptop
Right.
because it doesn't take hardly anything. And everything else has to be on my Xbox. So
What about Minecraft? What is that on?
Minecraft is on Xbox.
Okay. I think I
But
knew that, but I wanted
another
to make sure.
Yeah. So the other thing is we have 3 Xboxes, because we're bougie.
You
Now
just
I have
string them all together, and at that point, you should have enough memory to stream from.
exactly. So I play mainly on my Xbox X, which is in my living room, which is also where the Xbox S is. So like if I want Blood Drunk to play a game with me, he'll hop on the S and they're side by side. But then my Xbox One is in here, which is what I use to stream with.
Okay.
But I don't want to have to keep bringing my X in here and not in here. And I can't bring the S in here because a lot of my games are on discs
Yeah.
because I'm old and I can't handle like switching over to everything being digital because I'm like,
I'm like, I need the physical version. What if the
Yeah.
internet eats it? Yeah.
I know, like when you spend like hundreds of dollars getting like collector's editions of everything, like anyway. So that's what I do. And so that's why the Xbox One is in here. So it's not as good quality and it's not as fast. So then it's like, I don't know. That's not important to anything. But so that's what I stream with is my Xbox One.
Right.
And I have a lot of games that I have played, but I feel like the games that I really, really like to play, I don't really think I can stream
Okay.
because I really like games for their story and their lore. And I'm the person who will find every book on the shelf in the game and read it and like try to remember it because I feel like it's going to come up somewhere in the game. Like in Skyrim, I read all of the books.
Right.
Like in ESO, I find a book, and instead of just like, oh, hey, cool, I found a book, I +1 to my light armor. Like I will read it because I'm like, somebody took the time to create this. And like, what if there's something like it's going to say something and then I'm going to find this magic waterfall and it's because I read that book that I know. But I don't know. My brain just tells me I have to read
But
it.
for you on stream and the way you stream and perform, because streaming is a performance, obviously, and especially for you, I could see you could spend an entire stream just looking and reading books to the audience, and they would be completely enraptured with it.
You think so?
I think
I
it would be
love it.
fun. I mean, I think it could be fun, but yeah. And I was once told, so like me doing that, sometimes I'm like, maybe that's not so much fun, or reading the stuff. And a lot of people, like when I did Cyberpunk, a lot of people told me, yeah, I read all the stuff. The lore is really great and whatever. And I'm like, that seems like it would be a boring stream to me. But you've just got such a great voice, I think, and the way you talk and the way you interact with the audience, I think that you could just sit there and read a freaking phone book and people would watch it. So
I would probably have something to say about everybody's name.
right.
I'm
And
like,
that's
"Oh my gosh,
entertaining.
look, there's
So
3 nines next to each other. That's amazing. Like 999.
wow.
It's like a German yelling at you. 999. Like literally, I have something to say about everything. I'm that person. Sometimes it's annoying. Like in real life, like my real life existence people. What is that? What am I trying to say? My neighbors.
you say my real life existence people.
Yes. They don't find me nearly as charming as the internet does. It's probably because I will go outside wearing a blue wig and paint my toenails while like singing in like a man voice, just for no reason other than I'm just I'm just existing, and they don't seem to think, I think they think I'm like, I don't know what they think. I don't
It
think they
doesn't-
like me.
Doesn't matter what they think.
It really doesn't. And I want to show my kids that like being yourself, like finding joy and just being yourself, which I try to do. Like sometimes it does hurt my feelings. Like, one of the things I've been telling people about is like the neighbors across the street, which I don't give any names because I don't want to like
Yeah.
be illegal. But I have like quite a few issues with them. Like they stole my cat, and they put a camera on their mailbox to watch our house, and like all sorts of like really weird stuff. And so like I'll kind of like talk about them or whatever, and people will say like, you should do this, you should do this, and then I'll go do those things because I'm like, that's actually a great idea. And it's kind of like my own personal soap opera with like these neighbors across the street. And I found out today that they're moving, so I'm like, I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah. Is that a yay, they're gonna be gone, or is it like a oh, no more, I don't get to troll them back anymore for all their stuff
I
that they've done to
know.
me?
It's like,
Did you
Dude,
send
I'm
him a
like,
letter and be like, hey, since you're moving, can I have my cat back?
exactly. They relocated my cat because they claimed that he was digging up their carrots.
Cats don't
And
dig
they
up.
knew it was him. I know. That's what I said. I'm like, no, that was not my cat. That was probably one of the many rabbits that live, like, or like a coyote doing something in your garden. Not my cat that I know for a fact was exactly where this cat was at that time. Like, but yeah. Anyway, I don't even remember
Just
why.
be
I'm
like, it
talking
wasn't my
about
cat, it was me. I really wanted carrots.
Exactly.
And I wanted,
It
as
was
soon as
not
you shaved up, I was going to be like, yeah, what's up, Doc?
exactly. I was scratching and whining at your door last night, and you wouldn't let me in, so I went and peed in your bushes. What? Retaliation. Next time, answer your gosh darn door.
That's right.
Okay? And then your tree wouldn't be dead.
And what's the point of that camera if you're not going to answer the door when you see me walk up?
Exactly. Well, since they put the camera up, I've been putting on shows for them. So they're very anti everything. So obviously, when June came around, I'm like, okay, we're going to paint a giant rainbow on my driveway. And we made it a family affair. And we did that. We painted a giant rainbow. They were not happy about that. They would not let their daughter come play with our daughter until the rain washed away the rainbow. So then I decided to have a car wash I was wearing clothes.
Okay.
Just not as many as I usually wear. And me and my two sisters, we washed cars for my neighbor's enjoyment while listening to Lady Gaga. I like to sit out in pajamas and just sit there and sing show tunes while painting my nails or braiding my daughter's hair. I make sure that they get their money's worth out of that camera that they put on their mailbox pointed directly at our house. There must be a reason. Either they want more Scar, or they're trying to keep an eye on me because I'm shifty. Like if I can make trains crash, imagine what I could do to their house.
There's a
Saying,
throwback.
like,
There's a
Yeah.
and that's another there's an improv skill right there, an improv skill. Go back to an old joke, bring it back, make it fit.
bring it around town.
That's right. Belly says, wait, what is wrong with the rainbow? Nothing. It's
There's
exactly
nothing
the
wrong
point.
with the rainbow. There's nothing wrong with it. She was just very upset that we had a giant rainbow as a driveway. So we're gonna have to do it again before they move.
Yeah.
Obviously. Pull
Just
out
get
all
a
the
bunch
stops.
of get a bunch of rainbow flags and draw another
Mm-hmm.
rainbow and dressed up in like cosplay as Rainbow Bright.
Yes. They said that I am not ladylike and I'm very inappropriate.
And
So
what does that make them? Horrible human
so
beings.
I love putting on like little shows for my neighbors. I feel like a mean girl right now, sitting here like telling the internet like my evil plans for
Your
my
evil
neighbors.
Except for you're not doing
They're
anything outside your own yard and nothing illegal,
Yeah.
so you're completely good.
Exactly. They're bullies, and I'm just,
They're the ones secretly recording you. Not so
Yeah.
secretly. I mean, it's not
Secretly,
illegal
not
for them either, but
yeah. I
Bentley
always
says
do a
embrace it.
shimmy when I go check my mail. I'll like walk to the mailbox and I'll be like, and then I'll like turn around and check my mail and like get all like flouncy.
flip one foot up and throw your hair back.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll if it's nice out and I look, appropriately dressed or inappropriately dressed. I don't know. Just if I feel like it, I'll drop a piece of mail and then like bend and snap to get it. Like, I'd aim to please. I'm a people pleaser. What do you expect?
See, it's a good thing Mucky's gone now, because Mucky's gonna be like, all right, where is this? They're moving. I need to buy this house and put up my own camera, get a free Scarblade show.
I mean, like, I don't do anything like illegal or like super inappropriate, I guess. I just I just have fun. Like, I'm just silly. Like,
Redneck Jenny's like,
Suddenly
suddenly
I
I
want
want
to
to be your neighbor. See, I knew that was gonna happen. Somebody was gonna be like, time to move in across the street from Scarblade, set up our own camera.
I mean, like, it just, I mean, they're not, and like, we found out, like, we looked it up, and it's not an invasion of privacy, because there's something about like
As long as you got
like
the
known
recording in
known
public.
known, I can't remember the terminology, but like known privacy. So like if it was like recording inside like
Yeah.
our bedroom,
Right.
that's like illegal.
Yeah, if it's like recording
But
through, like if it's up next to your window recording inside, but if it's on like a public
Yes.
area in a street,
Yes. And it's on our mailbox, and like it's like right at like our house, like directly center, like there's your house, Scar.
Yeah.
So like I'll like wear underwear and like have my window open and walk around my house. Like I mean, I have to prove to them that I don't care.
right. You just walk by and be like, "Hi, I see you. Your camera."
I do. I'll do yoga. Like one of the evils of the world is yoga. So I'll do
I love
yoga,
yoga.
like right in front of my front window, and like, I'll get like tight yoga pants, and I'm just like downward dogging right in their face. Like, I don't know. I fight dirty, I guess.
That's right. Oh, what is your next stream? What is your schedule looking like for coming up?
Wednesday. Currently, I only do Sundays and Wednesdays because I have very low self-esteem, and so I think to myself, like, no one's gonna want to watch you more than 2 days, so that's all they get. So I do Wednesdays and Sundays, and it's in the afternoon because I'm also scared to stream at night because that's when like the ghosts come out. So I don't know. They mess with your camera, maybe, probably not. I don't know, but it's possible.
Do you live in a haunted house? Do you live in a haunted house?
I don't live in a haunted house. We're the only people that have ever lived in this house. We bought this house in 2010, and we've lived here for 13 years. And it was a model home before it was our home. So it's like,
And Bentley agrees. We want to watch you all of the days.
oh, shucks a bucks though. Like, I feel like I would run out of material. I'm like, people are going to get just as sick of me as my family does.
No.
I'm just kidding. My family's not sick of me.
Time to add more days.
I would need topics. I feel like I need like things to do. Like, I don't know what I would do. Like I started doing makeup streams
Yeah. Who gave you that idea?
because you did. Because you were always like, you and who else was it? Somebody else would come in and tell me that my makeup looked good. They're like, your makeup looks good. Your makeup looks good. And I was like, I do not know how to do makeup. Like, I just like slap a bunch of stuff on my face, try to like
Your makeup is
hide
always
zits
on
and-
point. Every time I see your stream.
That's what you said. And so I was like, well, maybe I could like do makeup streams.
See, Bentley
But
agrees.
I don't use. Oh, thank you, Bentley. But I don't know like the tips and the tricks. The only makeup I know how to do is like from watching my mother in the 80s put her face on every morning. And so
And
I've
theater.
just learned that everything I was doing was wrong. So now I'm doing this thing where I was doing it on Sundays, but I think I'm switching to Wednesdays. For that, I don't know. Who knows? I change my mind all the time. Where I'm just going to be doing like learning makeup stuff and like how to put on eyeliner, how to, do this. Like I did one last 2 weeks ago where it was like talking about underpainting, which I had never done before, which is where you put your contour and your blush and your highlight on before you put your cover up on. So you do it like really bold, and then anyway, and I don't know, and then I just like talk about it and like what I like about it and what I don't like about it. And I have all drugstore products because I'm, that's not true. I have a lot of drugstore products, and I also have an Ipsy subscription.
You almost
so I
had
get stuff that I
problems.
Did I say problems?
You almost
Yeah,
said
I've
it.
got
You're
a lot
like
of drugstore-
problem
I got a lot of
products.
drugstore problems, man. I just can't give it up. I do have a drugstore problem though. That's actually true. I have it if I go into a drugstore, I cannot leave unless I buy chapstick. Like I have a little bit of an obsession. It's not as intense as my box obsession, but I really like chapstick. Like
Do you,
I
do you
I
put the
want all the
chapstick in the
flavors.
boxes?
I do have a box full of chapstick. Yes. I do. It's about this big. I'll bring that out next time.
All right, all right.
Yes, I have. I like to try different chapsticks and like I don't know. It's so stupid, but I forget what I was talking about.
You're gonna have a stream
I
on
do
Wednesday,
makeup streams. Yes.
and you're doing a
Makeup
makeup
and
stream on
Minecraft.
Wednesday.
Yes, this Wednesday.
Awesome.
What lady doesn't have a box of chapsticks? Exactly. I have favorites and then I have ones that I don't like, but I still keep them. So that like when someone's like, "Do you have any chapstick?" I'm like, "Do I ever?" And then I'll like get out my box and I'm like, "What flavor do you want?" And I'll just be like, I'll try to pawn off the ones I don't like. Like I love minty stuff, but I hate minty chapstick because I feel like I just got like toothpaste on my lips and I'll lick it off immediately. And then like I make my lips chapped because I'm just like sitting there like all day long. So like I can't do mint chapsticks. I can't do them. I don't. I same with coffee. I have the same problem with coffee chapsticks. I'll just like suck it off my face.
There's black licorice.
So.
Here's some black licorice chapstick.
I actually really like black licorice flavor. That's my favorite candy.
Oh.
Other than like black licorice flavored saltwater taffy is my favorite candy. I love it. When I had an Amazon thing on my Twitch account, I had like a wish list for my birthday one time, but then I got rid of it because people were sending me like weird things. But one person sent me a bunch of saltwater taffy. I didn't eat any of it because I was like, I don't know what's in this. But knowing that it came from Amazon, I then went and bought my own. And so I
Oh.
had a bunch of saltwater taffy, like licorice flavor. Oh my God, it's so good. It reminds me of my childhood.
Nice. Awesome. Everybody, go and check out the Scarblade. I don't know why I say the Scarblade. Go check out Scarblade.
okay.
We're gonna watch a clip of yours. What do you think it is? What do you think the clip's gonna be?
A zombie train.
We'll see. We'll see what it is. Here it comes.
I saw on the internet a train whistle,
There's no audio.
just like my train whistle, but it's
Oh, it
different.
is the zombie train, but you can't hear me.
Want to know why it's different? Because it's shaped like a train. It was wooden. It was a wooden.
I don't even know what
train,
I'm saying, so I
and we
can't like
blew in
fill
it.
that in. I have audio.
It
Oh, they
sounded
have
like a
audio. We
train.
just don't have audio.
But you could
Yeah, we'll play
it had
another
a
one here in
thing,
a
like,
second. I
the-
think I
the
see
wheel-
where
the wheels
this
would,
is
like,
happening.
chugga chugga.
I see what's
right?
happening.
And it was also like
I can hear it through
I think
yours.
it was like a lower sound.
Yeah,
but it might have been the video that
I just unmuted it.
I was just randomly looking on Amazon for train whistles.
Yeah,
because
I think I'm
Yes.
talking about my obsession with trains. I really like trains. I'm gonna ride a train when I go to England. An English train.
Let's see if I fixed it. See if I fixed it.
So
There
confused.
it is.
I'm so confused. I confuse myself. I don't know. Okay, now the sun's coming back. I've left the darkness and entered the light.
I clipped this one.
Oh, you did.
This is my clip. That's my clip. Yes.
I was wearing my Padawan braid too.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I feel like I need to learn something.
You mean you didn't actually braid that? I thought that was like you actually braided that.
No, I got this for Christmas.
Oh.
It's if I need to learn something, I put it on to humble myself.
Were you wearing that when you learned how to play Minecraft?
I was.
Were you?
100%. Yep. 100%. Like ever since I got it, that's like I wear it whenever I need to like learn something or remember how to do like when I learn a new recipe.
Nice. Steven the Shark says he's going to grow one of those for himself.
Do it.
Do it. Keep your hair, everything else short except for the one spot where the braid is going to be.
Yeah. Like I'll like pull my hair up in like a clip and I'll just like clip my hair up and then I clip my like from cooking, and then I just clip this to the back, and then I use the force in my kitchen to make dinner for my children.
There you go. Nice.
So it's a totally normal thing to do.
Do you enjoy cooking?
I love cooking.
See, we've got our
Absolutely
next
love
3
it.
topics now. We're talking about the zoo. We talk about cooking. we
I'm
talk about
actually a
improv.
really-
Although we kind of talked about
I'm
improv.
actually a really good baker.
Oh yeah.
Like I make everything from scratch. So my grandmother was Hungarian. She came from Hungary, her and my grandpa. And I have a lot of like old country like recipes.
Yeah.
And I will I make bread from scratch and like all sorts of yummy baked things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've gone through all of our topics and all of our things.
Indubitably.
We'll have to have you come back. We'll have to talk about some of these other subjects
Oakley dokley do.
if you want to, of course. If you want to. If you had a good enough
Oakley
time.
dokley, Nickerino. Sounds good.
Uh,
I would love to.
is there anyone on in particular that you would like to raid?
Oh. I don't know. I'm not very good at questions.
If
do
not,
I
I can just pick somebody, but I figured I would ask you.
I
I didn't know if Meatball was on or not. I don't know. I don't think I.
he was on earlier. I watched him while I was getting ready. Let's see. I have a couple people. Like I have Distal's place. I frequent them a lot. They're really good with D&D. Maple Moose. I don't. Whoever you want.
All right. Well, he was in here earlier. We talked about D&D quite a bit. We'll talk. We'll give a raid to our friend Midwest Miniature Guy,
Oh, yay!
and we can go in there. He is currently working on. It looks like a half dragon. Looks like he's still at the pretty beginning stages of it. But yeah, it looks like he's working on like a half dragon type character or a dragon, a dragonkin or something. A dragonborn wizard, based on Max Dunbar art by Bruno Sameo is the miniature he's doing. It says right in his title.
Wow.
It's a Manic Mini Monday. He's painting miniatures. So we're going to go on in there and join him over at Midwest Miniature Painting Guy. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for the bits, the alerts. Thank you for the follows. And thank you to the one and only Scarblade, who's going to be live on Wednesday doing a makeup stream. Scarblade, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
We will we'll see you around. Probably not on Minecraft Community Night because you're avoiding those at all costs. But we'll get
know.
together someday. I'm just teasing you.
It will happen.
Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it,
Thank you.
you being here. So for those watching, thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Tomorrow I'll be back doing some video games tomorrow night, and then Wednesday is tabletop role playing. So we will see you guys tomorrow. See Scarblade on Wednesday, and see Midwest Miniature Guy tonight. Go ahead and give a follow. We'll chat with you guys later. Take care.